I would second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from November 10th. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. The reassessment hearing.
All right, this is our public hearing on our annual reassessment of any parcels that have either been resurveyed or subdivided and had an acreage change, those parcels that have been under assessment in the past. So we've sent out notices to all those property owners that had any of those changes. And we received probably maybe 3 or 4 phone calls, just that they were unfamiliar with the process, explained to them what was occurring, so. Other than that, we haven't had any other contact with anyone concerning those changes.
So these are all real estate changes in the last year.
Well, not that they don't, it doesn't take care of any transfer, just if they've had some type of an acreage change.
Oh, okay.
Like going from a farm field to a subdivision, things like that, or if they cut off a building site.
Okay.
Piece of property, but, we had, I think, one subdivision in the Joseph Anthony Drain and then another subdivision in, Possum Creek watershed. So those were probably the 2 major changes. The other ones were pretty much all incidental, small acreage changes here or there.
It just adds a lot of people, doesn't it?
It can, yeah. If you got one property owner, it goes to more than one, so.
The ones at Joseph Anthony are at $5. That's just what that was established,
Yes.
$5 per lot. But you've changed that at some point, or had it always been?
Originally it was 10.
But then the amount of lots that are coming in, you decided to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, we really increased the amount of revenue based on all the
Yeah.
development there, so.
The Wheelsboro Drain, BCSO do not send a notice.
Sometimes there's a little minor change, and maybe their assessment really didn't change, but the parcel number may have changed. So we don't bother sending them a notice if they're not gonna see any difference. So we'll give this list to the auditor so they can make sure they get the right assessment on the right parts.
And the board needs to approve this.
Yes.
I would move that we approve the reassessment. Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the reassessment as provided. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Major signatures.
And the next item is the mutual drain petition. This is novel.
Okay, should have the kind of the main part of the petition in your packets. This item has been, I think, discussed by the commissioners for quite some time. And, we've been in discussion with the commissioners over the last month or so. And this mutual drain is located on the west side of US 31, about 1,500 feet in length. And it crosses underneath the Henry Lakes Boulevard road back to the mobile home park. There's some development upstream of this drain that is in the process. There's a piece that was recently rezoned for apartment buildings and commercial. And then there's another property north of Tanny Hill Road that'll probably be developed soon. So there's been some interest in improving the drainage up in that area. And the commissioners thought the best way to do that would be to ask the drainage board to get involved to improve the drainage up there. So we've done some preliminary survey work on the drain itself. Gonna have some challenges due to the not much of any slope on the drain.
Lack of contours.
Yeah, lack of contours. We're gonna go back and do some more survey work downstream on the US 31 side ditch on the west side and see if we can kind of pick up any additional fall downstream. But once we get some more information, we will advertise this for a hearing, set a date, and then any of the folks in this particular watershed will get a notice of the hearing. And then the board will decide if they want to go ahead and make this a regulated drain or not. So, Carl, you may have some thoughts on that. So,
That where that red line is, Tom, correct me if, is that Dollar General store right north of that red line on 31 or not? Or is it further up on the map?
the Dollar General is at US 31 and Henry Lakes Boulevard.
Yeah, okay. So, that's about the only thing I could think of to orient you guys on, but, if you drive up there or if you just take a glancing look as you're going down 31, although that's probably a bad thing to do with all the traffic on 31.
Yeah.
But that ditch, it really doesn't have any big stuff in it. But it, the worst thing about this is, most of the clearing and the dirt work, you won't be able to burn there. It'll have to be trucked out. Tom seems to think that trucking could be almost more than the actual work. But there is a semblance of a ditch there, but nobody's done nothing with it for years and years and years. And up there at where that Circle K used to be in, I think now it's been converted to a MAPCO.
MAPCO, yeah.
When things really get wet or they get a big rain, it's just a lot of standing water up there. So, and every time one of these developments have been built, everybody talks about the drainage, but they never do anything. They always it gets kind of swept under the rug. And boy, Larry is kind of had it and adamant that, and Larry's probably got the most history up here. Cause he's lived up there west of this area and he grew up in Taylorsville when he was a boy so more than likely, the commissioners, we will actually pay to clean that ditch out and kind of, I guess, use the excuse it's for economic development to kind of justify it. But then we might set up a maintenance fund, Tom, with those property owners if it becomes a regulated drain.
Well, we've discussed if you guys got enough money, we'll just roll that money over into the maintenance fund and we wouldn't have to set up a maintenance.
We wouldn't have set up a fund, but
That would be ideal.
Wouldn't have to do the
Yeah.
assessments.
so I don't know how long that ditch has been there, but it's sandy soil and I'm surprised in a way that there aren't bigger trees in it than what there are.
This is
really.
a retention pond on the east side of that red line? Crossing?
Yes.
It looks like it's part of Wexford development.
There a big enough pipe under that Henry Lakes Boulevard or?
There's two 24-inch culvert pipes, but they're standing about half full of water, so, or still.
But when we talked to Tom initially about it, Tom said that, we here, the drainage board, couldn't do a petition, but the commissioners could petition the drainage board. Cause we're property owners, right away and one thing and another, so.
Is there an outlet from that retention pond into that ditch?
Yes. Pipe. Stuff in
Here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
somewhere.
right there.
What really is bringing this to a head is right where that red line ends is another potential 30 acres that's going to be developed. And then across the road from that, Harold Force owns, that big tract of ground north of Tanny Hill Road and west of 31, behind the Waffle House and behind that motel. And so there's a lot of development pressure kind of pushing on that too. So will we do anything here tonight, Tom?
No,
You're just making us aware of it.
correct.
Okay.
It drains to 31 or it drains away from 31?
Drains 231 in south along 31 for about a mile and then empties into the big slough.
When you say they talk about drainage but never do anything, who's they? Developers?
Well, I don't know. I think partially too, you probably could blame I don't know, Tom, tell me if I'm wrong, but County Planning Commission has really not put their foot down, have they?
It seems like all the developers meet the subdivision control ordinance for drainage, so.
Everybody's answer is if I'm going to develop it and I don't have a ditch, then I have a retention pond, And in fact, that's what's proposed up there on that. They've got two great big ponds. And like Larry says, retention ponds work till everything gets full.
It's got to drain somewhere.
And then it's got to go somewhere. And so, and Jeff, to your point, you know, developers, they don't want to do any more than they have to, I guess.
Yeah.
Does the water come up in the soil, in that soil from underneath? Does it rise or?
It can, if it really gets full, it's almost a little bit like the Armith Acres situation over there. When the ground really gets full. Now, you know, we haven't had that for about 3 years. It's about time for it to happen in it, Tom. But, yeah, I hope that everybody that wanted to get out of Armith Acres got out here in the last 3 years, cause the time's a coming. And then they really cry.
Yep.
Would be a realistic timeline of if it all goes through that. That construction would happen on that cleaning.
Oh, I think we could do next summer or next fall.
Doesn't drain through dots.
Too much, yeah.
If it doesn't, then we'll fill in quicker. And my only concern is, you know, what order of work are you doing? Obviously it needs clean, the drainage needs to happen, but NDOT needs to be there as well. And that's, I mean, I mentioned that at the meeting and you guys know that very well. And the commissioners pushing NDOT are gonna get a better result than the board, the drainage board pushing NDOT to kind of clean theirs and get theirs flowing a little bit better as well. Whether we might end up with a lone pond.
Yeah. This is a mutual drain among,
Yeah, what mutual mean?
yeah,
Well, it was established by the property owners at some point in time. It's obviously a dug ditch, so it was
Generic term, right?
just a generic term for.
so it's not a county responsibility.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
No, not currently. It's private property, private ownership, private individuals that would be maintaining it up till this point.
And a petition for a drain usually takes, I may be wrong, 51% of the property
Well-
owner.
A mutual drain's a little different than a new drain.
Okay,
You have a different process.
okay.
You have different criteria as far as how it has to be met.
Jake's concern. And Jason here, he's the youngest. All the rest of us are about the same vintage, except Jake and Jason. But I have repeatedly said that when I was a boy and we went to the state fair, 31 was almost a brand new road. And those ditches were deep and clean on each side of it, you know. And my memory though is a little bit cloudy or tainted or whatever. There had to be in that picture, a lot of that was farm fields in the late 50s and early 60s, you know.
That was before our
But,
time. That was before our time.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
That's for our time.
For your time, you bunch of liars.
It's 2 days, that's 2 days on you tonight.
Yeah, Tom's kind of close behind. He's a little bit younger.
Carl.
But it really amazed me as a boy. I had to laugh that, Jeff, you knew him, and I don't know, Ronnie, Charlie Forster.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents and Charlie and Etta Faye and my sister and me and Connie and Donna we would pile into a sedan car, one car, and go to the state fair
Without seatbelts,
without seatbelts,
no airbags.
no airbags, and we took a picnic lunch in the trunk. We didn't dare buy any food at the state fair.
No.
But I can remember going up that road and about the only thing up there was that big old truck stop. I think
Yeah,
there was actually one on the right-hand side of the
Right.
road, wasn't there?
Yep.
About where the car dealerships or Centra is, right in there.
dance or something. No, I remember the truck stop.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then I think the one over there on the Force property actually came in later when we were, you know,
Yep,
after we were out of college, maybe.
yeah, it was a lonely road between Taylorsville and Franklin.
Yes, it was.
And then you got through Franklin, it was a lonely road to Greenwood.
Yeah.
Now it's just solid.
True.
So I've said, you know, the state of Indiana has probably not done a very good job of taking care of their ditches either along the road. If you just sometime when you're coming down 31 in the daylight, you just kind of look along there and, so we may have to lean on them and I don't know, they might be more willing to clean out ditch because they're sure not paving roads.
Yeah. The,
What's up?
not a lot of fall and with pipe standing with water in it. This might end up being a real problematic drain. But it's only 1,500 feet.
But Jake's guys up there have done some surveying and there is fall, but there's not a lot.
Yeah.
The water does have to go south along 31. So, anyway,
And Tom, you're hoping to get some other culverts along that 31 path, right? To kind of get a better
Yes,
idea.
we're gonna survey that entire side ditch on the state highway property, just to see what's there.
From their south.
Yes.
From there south.
Yeah.
And that terminus there south.
And then you'd make a recommendation.
We can put together we can do a recommendation to NDOT, what would help, and then we'll put together some type of a plan for this 1,500 feet. If we could,
Yeah.
if it's doable. And we're working against gravity, so it's,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of gravity to work with, guys.
You know, I'll fight
Wow.
that.
Ooh. Wish you luck.
you know, the only place I've ever heard them work against gravity, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom and Jake, you might know from being in northern Indiana, but up there in that Kankakee area, don't they actually have big augers with electric motors that they used
They
to?
look like augers, but there's like a boat propeller in the bottom. I bought one.
You did?
From the Kankakee River. And runs in front of my house there. They pump it all. The river is higher than the field.
And they have to
field
pump it
water
over the levee,
over
don't
the
they?
levee
To it, to
and
get
into
into,
the-
so they can create fall for
Yep.
it. Yeah. It's just a giant swamp up there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're lucky they did all that when they did. That wouldn't happen today, would it?
Wouldn't be allowed to touch it.
So literally a propeller that
Yep,
grabs that water and forces it up that tube?
yep. It's like a boat propeller in a tube,
Really?
just simple as can be. Got a.
Works
tube.
good, except if a log gets in it?
Yeah, I got like a screen in front of it. Occasionally it'll get choked up. You just shut it off and it flushes it back out. But works pretty good.
Huh.
Probably rebuild it every 5 or 10 years. But it's, God, I don't know if it's from 1940 or 1950. Like it's a really old pump. But it's been rebuilt many, many, many times.
High efficiency.
Right?
Yeah. Huh.
Any other comments or anything about it? So the next step is a hearing.
That would be the next step to the board, yes.
Yeah. All right. Update on the maintenance work.
Got a few projects, going on. I think last month I told you that, Wells Excavating was working on a, joint drain with Shelby County, the Sydney branch. So he's, just about has the dirt work wrapped up on that. We've got some riprap to get in. He's trying to decide whether to stick around and wait for some frozen ground or move to the next ditch. But, if he does move out, he'll go down to the Clarence Hall and get started on that next. And today, got the first pipe laid on the Tillman Drain, phase 2. So he laid up to Tillman Road and planning on closing Tillman Road tomorrow and crossing Tillman Road. Take a day or two to do that. So, so far so good on the Tillman. We haven't, he's above the water level, so that's a good thing at this point in time. So hopefully that'll stays that way, so. Other than that, just been kind of working around the weather. Winter came a little too early, so.
Yeah.
So, notices went out, last week for the hearing on the 29th. So we've gotten a few visits, a few phone calls on that, so. People got their notices.
Everybody in favor?
I haven't gotten any of those comments just yet, so. We'll see.
I'm trying to think what we settle on for the assessment.
It was the same for everyone, the same rate as before, but then, that
$4, was it? Or
$4 and, yeah, and then,
15.
15 for a lot, and then that, 400-foot corridor was 3 times that
Yeah.
along the drain itself, so.
Well, hopefully that'll be pretty routine hearing. If there is such a thing. Okay, anything else?
All I've got.
Is Denias Creek done? Finished? I'm just curious.
No, I need to get back. You have to do a special request to all the agencies to have a meeting on site. I just have not pulled the trigger on that.
It's all clean.
Got all the trees off of it. Got a few trees coming back, cedar trees, we really need to go back and have a contract to clean that up. We got that first initial phase done. And then,
got reprimanded for not having the permits that they wanted. So, and then they changes from being below the 10-mile length limit where it was less restrictive to over the 10 miles. So we put us in a different category that we have to jump through some more hoops, so
Made it more complicated.
made it more complicated. Have to play by their rules.
I think the cleaning has done wonders.
Oh, it's helped a bunch as far as opening it up, sure.
Yeah.
But maybe cause a little more erosion in some places where it's bouncing around so bad.
Anything else?
I'm gonna adjourn.
Second that.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen.